Well, first would be we'll talk about Proposition 2, which was our Parks and Path Replacement Bond. This was actually the third time the city has ran this bond. It's a 10-year bond. So it started back in the mid-90s. Was the first time the city ran it, and the city used those funds to do the downtown Riverwalk area and the Bill Chipman Trail out through Koppel Farms. So did a lot of that. And then in 2006, when that original bond expired, we ran it again, and the voters approved it. So at that time, we were able to add like 3 sections of new trails. We added like 6 restrooms in 3 of our parks. Replace lighting down at our city playfields, and then eventually it funded about 2/3 of the splash pad that we added down at Rainy Park. So that bond is expiring this year, so we wanted to run that bond again because it's kind of been a way for us to really address some capital needs, add some new kind of exciting features in our parks, and then just address some kind of our aging equipment that we have. So with Proposition 2, we'll be updating at the city playfields, adding new fencing, covered dugouts, score boxes, definitely like 2 sections of trails within the city, renovating the picnic shelter down at Krogel Park. As I mentioned previously, there are 2 parks that are undeveloped: Mary's Park out on Johnson Road, and Emerald Point Park, which is off of Davis Way as you leave Pullman towards Colfax. Those are properties that have been donated to the city, so we're going to look to develop those. Purchase portable staging, kind of a band shell that we can use, say, at our 4th of July celebrations at Sunnyside Park, but then also down at Rainy Park for concerts in the summer that we have down there. So that bond's going to address some of our different needs that we have.
Yeah, so the second bond has a lot to do with the maintenance, upkeep, and expansion of all the parks and paths in Pullman. Growing up here as part of the Pullman School District, you really did spend a lot of time downtown walking those paths around the city playfield. That's how you got from point A to point B. And coming into college, you just see obviously not as much use of those, partly because they're not upkept as well. There's not as many routes. So I think the bond really opens up a benefit to students. Should 10 years, probably not even 10 years, I think you'll see immediate difference in the upkeep and expansion of those. That students are going to have a lot more space to do those sort of recreational activities on those parks and trails. Whether it be walking your dog, having a picnic, places where you otherwise couldn't do that. The bond really opens up spaces for students to do those and have those experiences that they didn't otherwise have in Pullman before.